Alright, here we are, February 20th. We have a new update that just rolled out today. And it should be available by now on both iOS and Android. And it is called, as you can see, Victory Lane, featuring new NASCAR series. So we got a return to the Daytona 500 in this new 7-day special event, featuring only a single NASCAR, unlike in the past where they had 4 cars. So that's I would say that's a welcome change. I know, not more car is not always right answer, and perhaps they realize that. Anyway, so driving alongside the Stewart Haas racing team to earn Danica Patrick's Ford Fusion. Alright, so that's good. Drafting mechanics in NASCAR is one of the coolest things about Real Racing 3, of course. I wish they would expand it to beyond just NASCAR confines, if you will. So that's that. Lamborghini's Legacy. Oh, that looks pretty sharp. With 100 years of Lamborghini, the new Centenario LP 770-4 tears its way into real racing with an all-new 8-day special event. Okay, so we got some lengthy events with this release. Lamborghini's Legacy. That's gotta be a legacy class car. So the cost, I don't even want to know. But those special events, we'll try to see if we can run with the minimal upgrades, as we always try, at least. Don't always succeed, but hey, gotta give it a shot. The Gauntlet revamped. Interesting. You got me on revamped. I'm hoping that, I know they listen to the community, and at least in my community of racers that I'm friends with, most people are pretty unhappy with the way Gauntlet has gone down. Let's see, what are some major complaints? Well, obvious one, they tend to get just monotonous and way too long, which goes against what it was meant to be, right? Because the whole thing was, it's kind of randomized races, which you would hope are changing varieties, not just doing the same thing over and over and over. Anyway, returns for its 12th season, which is better than ever. Better for whom? I'm not sure. For them or for us? With more event variety. Okay, variety. Event variety. What's missing? That's kind of intriguing. What would they have put in? Because, they asked us to do just about everything in the Gauntlet. Some, I do have to admit, some challenges are good. Kind of force you to learn how to drive properly, like not smashing up every car on the road, even though I would be the first to admit that is definitely a lot of fun to do. Hey, maybe they'll ask us to do one of those. And let's see, no off track. If you can race without going off track, I mean, there's something special about that. I don't know, it feels very satisfying if you can make a perfect race, if you will. Anyway, that might just be me. Anyway, and deeper runs. What does that mean? That concerns me. Hopefully that deeper run does not mean longer runs, because that is definitely one of the big complaints. With the new Porsche Cayman S, okay, we'll try. The limited time series. We got 3 new limited time series. And the first one looks like the Jimmy Johnson's Chevy SS, so that's gonna be a NASCAR. How many tiers? I have no idea. Um, let's see. Didn't we do? We've done another NASCAR in limited. Actually, maybe two. There was that Toyota Camry, which didn't even let us. I think that was the very first limited time series that they've been when they first introduced it. And I remember running through that series, finished it, but I don't think they granted us the car, which is kind of odd. But anyway, that I believe was the Camry. Then let's see. I feel like there was another one. Maybe. I don't remember. Regardless, doesn't really matter. So we got another one. I was trying to compare and see if I can assess how many tiers we would have to complete to win this Jimmy Johnson's SS, but I guess we'll go in and find out. And we got Bugatti Veyron 16.4 Grand Sport Vitesse, which is a pretty expensive car, at least for my standard. The oldies, that used to be one of the more expensive cars, of course, with the current inflation of currency in game. I don't think that car is nearly as expensive as the newer ones that's been on offer, if you will. So, but I don't currently have that car on this account. I used to, I think, before I had to start over. So I just haven't gotten around to purchasing it again because, as I said, it's not a cheap car. So I have difficulty just shelling out cash or racing dollars for when it's not offered with a discount of some sort. So, alright, so I'm glad I waited. And the McLaren F1 GTR. Okay, that car I think I do possess, I do own, because it was another one of those cars I believe was offered on one of those maybe holiday specials, I want to say, because that car many people were missing in their garage because it is not offered very. I mean, it's not a very accessible car. It doesn't handle as well as the car featured in the same series, the P1 GTR, which of course is one of the best handling cars in the game, arguably. So yeah, that'll be good. But I feel like those two, at least Bugatti and McLaren, are gonna be a bit of a grinder because both cars are pretty expensive. So I'm sure they're going to ask us to run through quite a few tiers with quite a bit of upgrades. So they're technically not free. Or if you think of upgrades as just something that you're going to put on anyway, then perhaps you can think of the car as free. But price of entry is pretty pricey for these guys. So limited time series, nothing to it. We'll try to run as many of those races in red as possible, and we'll see how far we can make it. Anyway, those are the new cars. I don't see any announcement on new tracks, so that's a little disappointing, but oh well, what do you do? They did give us that Hong Kong track a couple of updates ago, so perhaps we'll have to that track will have to hold us off for a little bit until they bring us on a different new track. But let's check out the new cars here. We got the Porsche Cayman S. Looks like Porsche. PR 30.2 as a starting point, and looks like it's going to be one of the later cars perhaps Gauntlet is gonna be the last event, since it's gonna be, the car itself is gonna be available for us to purchase outright April 9th. April. Seems like that's pretty far down the road. And then we got, of course, Lamborghini Centenario. Alright. And that's going to be available after March 20th. That's apparently when the Lamborghini's Legacy series will end. So it's a pretty sharp looking car. I like the way it looks. Looks pretty aggressive. And then here's the NASCAR Jimmy Johnson Championship NASCAR, which means it's going to be the one that you have to run through that limited time series championship. So it'll require a bit of upgrades to go on the car. And yeah, so that's that. And then this is the other NASCAR. Now this one is a special event NASCAR. Stewart Haas Racing Ford Fusion, the Danica Patrick Ford Fusion. And this one will be available so 27th of February. So that's apparently when the earliest when I guess you'll be done with the series. So pretty cool stuff. 4 new cars. Good deal. Let's see. And what is there to talk about? PR starting at 42.6. Yeah. So alright, so first event. What's gonna be the first event? It's gonna be Daytona 500, the Great American Race. And the event will apparently start in 0 seconds. Lead your team to victory. Alright, will do. Internet connection is required. Access this feature. I am online. But seem to be having a bit of trouble here. All right. I think there might be some server issues or something. Well, I'm sure it'll come back on at some point. So we'll see you guys at once this event comes online. All right. See you then.